Philosophy appears, to some extent, to have been swept under the rug in recent years. It seems, especially today, that the bigger questions we have about our lives are growing more meaningless. Why think about the sudden appearance of a universe, the fabric of reality, or the formation of our solar system when you could be working toward a higher salary or a more prestigious position at your job? Why worry about the emergence of DNA and the long evolutionary journey of our species when you have to study for an exam you're taking tomorrow? You must check off every item on your list of daily duties and tasks before you can even consider taking some time for yourself to think. And even then, we're more likely to relax with a movie, log some time into our favorite video game, or have a social gathering instead of questioning ourselves, stretching our imagination, or looking to ancient thinkers for modern advice. In some ways, it seems that some sort of shift in culture has brought thinking itself under attack, replacing it with a constant need for activity, consumption, and novelty. As an introduction to this channel, I would like to explore a simple question. Why is philosophy important? This may seem trivial on the outside, but it is something that I, as a student of philosophy, have been wondering about for several years. No matter how weird or useless it may be to think about existence, time, values, and physical objects from a foundational level, this is the real heart of philosophy, the study of everything. And of course, since we're talking about such foundational things, the very things that cause people to take life or to take things so seriously, philosophy has gotten a bad rap for being a pretentious field. Before we get too involved, we should first note the importance of entertainment on the leisure side of our lives. It surely has its place in our routines of winding down and spending some of our free time, as it should. There's nothing inherently wrong with using entertainment. While some will label all forms of entertainment as escapes from reality, they can and often are filled with content that is very human. Certain genres of media are certainly harmful, especially to young audiences, as superhuman qualities and larger-than-life realities can confuse us into having unhealthy expectations of ourselves and others, rather than showing us positive role models and realistic qualities to strive for. This sort of thing can be seen on social media sites like Instagram, as well as in popular film and television, among other places. On the other hand, there also exist many forms of entertainment that have the potential to teach us life lessons, sharpen our intellect, expand our understanding, and comfort us emotionally. Philosophy seems to sneak its way into popular entertainment under many guises and exists within video games, films and television, art, books, and everywhere else you can imagine. So in this way, we can realize that we have conscious decisions to make regarding the types of media we consume and show to our children. Some days we may feel the need to massacre endless hordes of zombies, while on another day we may want to watch a team of space travelers make contact with an alien race. We may want to watch the unfolding of a love story on a Tuesday and experience the rush of battle and grinding for loot on Friday. The point here is that all of this is okay. These activities are completely normal and shared by almost everyone else who spends time in leisure. There's room for working and planning, killing time mindlessly, and for deeply reflecting. Balance is the key. Moving forward, you might ask, why would I want to do nothing when there are so many things to be done? Why would I ask questions that science has deemed unanswerable? If there were answers to any of these questions, I would have heard about them by now. Thinking about our own lives and our relationship to reality can help us in ways both small and large, even if it makes us uncomfortable in the process. We can use philosophy to hone our critical thinking skills by learning how to turn our jumbled thoughts into coherent statements and clarify our positions in conversation. We can begin to think about the difference between belief and truth. With any luck, we can realize that there is much that we do not yet know, and even more that we don't even know that we don't know. We can use these insights to help us in everyday life and its struggles. Take, for example, your morning drive to work. Someone was in a hurry and cut you off, causing you to stop at a red light when you otherwise would have made it through, on time and on schedule. Normally, you would stew over this all day, possibly even complaining about it to coworkers when you arrive for your shift. If you take the time to reflect on the situation, you may come up with other explanations for why you were cut off in the first place. Maybe the driver was taking someone to the emergency room, was running late for an important interview, had a rather nasty bowl of chili the night before and needed to find a toilet, Or maybe they were just being a jerk and you were right. In any case, you won't ever actually know the answer to why this person behaved in the way that they did, so jumping to conclusions is never the best course of action. This sort of thinking, and taking the time to step back before reacting, can help in reducing small stressful events in daily life. In a larger sense, taking the time to think about some of the bigger questions, such as, what is my purpose? Who am I? Or what is this? Can be very beneficial in our lives. One can begin to see that they have a place within the world as an active member of society and of humankind, rather than to feel like an alien or to feel cut off from the world in some way. One may begin to remember peculiar preoccupations of their youth which have long been forgotten and reintegrate them into adult life, creating a stronger personality in the present. Sitting with yourself and examining your beliefs, attitudes, and opinions can really open up new areas of exploration. You may find that you have adopted the opinions of others rather than coming up with your own conclusions. By thinking more and more, you will begin to formulate ideas that you never even considered. You might just find that there really is a vulnerable and even at times sad and confused part of you that wants attention. This is one of the directions we point to when we talk about philosophy. We try to shine some light on the deep, dark, untouched stuff and question all of it, no matter where it leads us. You are the only you that you've got. It's easy to forget that everyone else has one too. We all see ourselves as the center of the universe in the same way that you do. When we remind ourselves of these types of thoughts, even if it's only for a few minutes a day, we can start to better understand our situations. We can start to feel pity or compassion for one another as we begin to truly see that we are all, in one way or another, silently suffering. Why? Because of course, life isn't fair. You have to die at the end, shortly after everyone you love dies. You have to navigate through this experience that we call life, largely on your own. When we begin to examine ourselves, we will see that really, at the end of the day, we are like bundles of anxiety. Sometimes the anxiety is related to specific events and worries, while other times it may be a general physical sensation in the background. As we look closer and closer, deeper and deeper into ourselves, we will see that this may indeed be a sort of steady state, a default background feeling that we all share all the time, but for some reason decide to play off and ignore. We all know that we're going to die one day, but we try not to think about it in the immediate moment. What if we did think about it now? Could we potentially come to terms with our own mortality before it catches up with us? Could we try doing that thing that we've been putting off for so long? Could we make an attempt to change our circumstances without fear? These are the types of questions that philosophy can bring into your life. Of course, you have other things to be doing, we all do. But taking just a little bit of time out of your day to stop and think can do wonders for your attitude, your ability to communicate, your emotional state, and many other aspects of your daily life. We all come at this subject from completely different vantage points. What makes perfect sense to one person can sound like alien language to another. A metaphor that works for me may not work for you. It's for this reason that we must take the time to check in with ourselves and have conversations with ourselves, rather than to rely fully on outside sources or to live fully on autopilot. Having said all of that, I would like to end on this note. This channel is primarily for myself, a sort of way for me to condense my own thoughts and put some of the things that I find interesting, useful, and weird all together into one place in a format that's easily accessible. With that being said, if anyone else finds my words to be helpful or interesting, then I welcome you to the ride and hope you enjoy what else is to come.